Hey guys, Horror Man back for another review. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the new Casey Jones figure based off the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows movie. And this is the sequel to the new CGI movie that was released a couple years ago. And it's a decent representation of what Casey Jones looks like in the movie. So basically it's in this standard packaging that most of your side characters are going to get. Each Ninja Turtle has their own proprietary packaging, but yeah, all the side characters just feature this same, 4 turtles in the corner, and it does have the name written across the front. And then if you go over to the back, you can see all the different characters that are in the new movie line. Now, some of the pictures on the back are going to vary compared to the actual final product, and the paint is definitely the biggest thing that changes. And then you can see a little story about the second, the sequel. Alright. So Playmates has delivered a whole line of movie-based merchandise, and I believe it might be a Walmart exclusive for now. That's all I could find it at, but they'll definitely be in Toys R Us, Target, and other various stores soon. You can expect to pay just under $10 a piece per figure. Alright, so before we actually open the figure and take a closer look, I want to do just a little packaging comparison. Here's Casey Jones, the original Casey Jones, and this is based off the 80s cartoon. And just to give you a little comparison of the size and the type of figure design. So already I could say the the 80s version is definitely obviously my favorite. So alright, so let's go ahead and take out this new Casey Jones and get a closer look. Alright, so before we take a look at the figure, it does come with this little pamphlet inside of the actual packaging. And then you can see some of the different items that they have. Obviously they're all, geared toward kids. And then you can see just some role-playing kits, some little masks. And then there's also a couple different vehicles, a play set, and a huge sewer layer set. And then on the back you get a little bit closer up pictures of the figures. You can see they have 11-inch scale figures, talking figures, different motorcycles with different, let's say Raphael and Leonardo, and then they also have Bebop and Rocksteady. And then you can just see the rest of the figures in the basic assortment. Just a clearer picture. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. Alright, so here he is out of the packaging. And at first glance, this figure is okay. It's definitely basic, and just looking off the actual card that they give you, there's definitely some issues with the paint. One thing I noticed about him is that the mask has a lot more like damage to it, or like dirt. His knee looks like it has a tear in the jeans. The jeans are also weathered if you look around like the knee area. And then the top of the shirt looks like it has a little bit lighter, where the rest is darker. I guess that's just to show some wear. And most importantly, this hockey stick is like a dark, almost like a reddish brown with a grip on it. But when you actually get the figure, it's just a simple black paint. So they didn't paint any of the bandages, and they didn't paint it at all. So they completely skipped. Now he also comes with these like skates, which I do believe he has in the movie. I think there was a trailer that shows him skating away from Rocksteady, but this isn't painted either. I imagine there's like some kind of white grip tape here, and then the skates themselves would be probably black, and then the wheels should be like a silver, but it doesn't show these on the back, so I have no idea what the prototype would actually look like. Let's go ahead and get a close-up of the head sculpt. Alright, so here's the head sculpt, and you know, the biggest disappointment for me about this figure is that the mask doesn't come off. Even if it wasn't the best quality head sculpt underneath, I wouldn't even honestly care. I just would want the mask to come off. The reason I think it would be cool is because if you took it off, you could do some customizing to the face, and then you can customize this mask. I mean, you can make this figure look better than what it actually is. And the reason is because the articulation is actually pretty good, which we'll get to. But, you know, not giving a mask that comes off really limits you. So, I mean, you could do some customizing to this, but you're not going to be able to do much with that hair. You know, I mean, I just can't find any way to get this mask off. It's just completely sculpted on. And then underneath, if you could see the details, it's a little tough, but the eyes, I don't know, they're kind of there, but you really can't see too much. And then you can kind of see through the mouthpieces, which I don't understand. They might as well just made that part dark. So yeah, I'm definitely really disappointed with the head sculpt. The actual mask isn't too bad. It definitely looks pretty close to what he would wear in the movie. They could have went with some shadows on here, or even just black dots to show where the actual holes are in the hockey mask, as opposed to just really flat. But yeah, it just kind of comes off as okay. The actual head sculpt in the back looks like he has some kind of marks from the paint. I don't think that's supposed to be there. But at least they did differentiate the straps from the hair. So they went a little bit farther than I guess we expected. The articulation's not bad. He can turn pretty good. He can look down a little bit. He can look up a little bit. So yeah, the range of motion isn't bad at all. So I'm really surprised they even gave it that kind of articulation. So taking a look at the rest of the body, like I said, he really does fall flat with the paint. You're really not going to get too much of anything here. Just like a gray tone on the shoes and the jacket, a lighter gray on the hoodie that's underneath of the jacket. And you get this kind of like a I don't know, a really terrible brownish green kind of color on the shirt. Definitely not accurate. The pants are really light blue, not a sky blue, but they should have been darker. But yeah, they can definitely see where they're reusing some colors with just the flat grays. The hoodie part doesn't move at all. It's just like a sculpted. You can see a little bit of a line detail, which is nice, but there's no pliable material here or anything. So yeah, he's pretty basic. The jacket, it has a little bit of a soft material at the bottom, but that's it. It's not going to come off the shirt or anything like that. You know, you can't open it up or anything. It's completely sculpted on. And then there's this really bad looking item code number or model number on his foot, which is completely inexcusable. So you do have some peg holes on the feet, but the holes are so big you're going to have a hard time finding a decent stand to actually put them on. So besides the low price, the best thing about this figure is clearly the articulation. I mean, it's actually really good. The head completely turns. You got a shoulder cut here. He can go completely far out here. The elbows cut. And shockingly, the wrists are even articulated, which is something they're terrible with, Playmates. And you can see it kind of goes back a little bit, but it does move. There's nothing in the waist, but there is pretty good articulation in the legs, and there's even articulations in the knee. And you can't do like a split or anything. It's a kind of a strange articulation right here. But it is nice to have that knee movement. And then there's nothing in the ankles or the feet. And that's pretty much it. But I mean, you know, he definitely needs the articulation, and they definitely delivered with that. So we already got a close look at the accessories, so I'm just going to show you how you actually put this together. You would just slip his shoe into one of the skates, and then do the same thing on the other. Just like that. And he actually stands pretty good with those, so I am happy with that. Kind of save you from having to worry about putting him on a figure stand. And then if you just want to display him with the hockey stick, the hands are pretty easy to move, so you can put him in any kind of position you want. Alright, and here he is completely loaded with his accessories. So, I mean, he doesn't look too bad once you get him with all the accessories on. Again, I definitely wish the mask could come off. And then if you look at, like, you know, the production photo, the prototype, definitely see a difference in quality there. But all in all, under $10. You know, if you're a huge Ninja Turtles fan or just a Casey Jones fan, I'd probably recommend picking this one up. If you can customize a little bit, you might be able to make this guy look a little bit better. Throw some white, maybe some black wash to do the bandages, paint these wheels, give him a different hockey stick, and give him some hair. So, all in all, it's, you know, it's pretty much what you'd expect from Playmates toys at this point. I'm a die-hard Casey Jones fan, so this could probably be the worst figure in the world, and I would still buy it just because I like the character. But definitely not a figure for everyone. You know, if you're used to NECA, Mezco, DC Collectibles, or even Diamond, this is definitely far different in terms of quality. One thing worth noting is that the hockey stick is that really cheesy, bendy rubber material, so it's kind of crappy. And if you have the older Casey Jones figures, you can attempt to kind of work these different weapons in there, but it's a little too big. The characters for the new movies seem to be a little bit smaller than the originals, so yeah, it looks kind of goofy in his hand. For the first comparison, here's Casey Jones from the new movie next to the original 80s figure. The amazing part is there's definitely better paint on this guy than there is this guy, and so many years different. You'd think it would have changed by now. Now this one, the mask doesn't come off, which is okay because you really don't see his face in the cartoon, but notice all the different dark tones in there. They really make the mask pop. This one just looks very flat. And here he is next to the early 2000s Casey Jones, and here he is next to his best friend Raphael from the Ninja Turtles, and this is made by NECA Toys based off the Mirage Ninja Turtles, which is honestly the best Ninja Turtle figure ever made, just in my opinion. But yeah, they don't really scale that great together. Casey should be taller, but you know, it's something. And here he is next to the Michelangelo from the original TMNT #2, Secret of the Ooze. And they actually scale pretty well. And just for fun, here he is next to his idol, the Friday the 13th Part 4 Jason Voorhees, made by NECA Toys. So you can see these guys are a completely different scale. Alright, so that's my review. All in all, you know, it's an alright figure. I'd recommend it again to any fan that's looking for a new Casey Jones figure. You know, you're not going to get much nowadays. Basically off the newest cartoon and pretty much whatever Playmates decides to make. You know, all the years that Turtle's been around for, really haven't seen any company kind of looking to make a new Casey Jones figure. So maybe one of these days, you know, somebody like Mondo, SH Figure Arts, or, you know, if we're lucky, maybe NECA could make one. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. So, you know, if you're just looking for a Casey Jones or a Turtles figure that's, I don't know, somewhat decent, I would definitely pick this one up. For $10, you really can't beat it. Like I said, you'll find it at Walmart right now. They have a giant display right by the, of course, the toy aisle. You might even see it over by the electronics, and all the figures are out. Now this is one of the better ones, I would say, in the line. They had pretty much all of them except for the like cosplay looking turtles. And normally I would have picked up Shredder, but he was so bad I couldn't even buy him. But yeah, this one's really not that bad. Like I said, a little bit of custom work could maybe go a long way with this one, but you know, depends on how good you are. So thanks for watching my review. Please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Go see the new Ninja Turtles movie, and until next time, guys, see ya.